100 pounds of ice contain 3 hidden golden keys. According to the game rules, breaking the ice is prohibited. The person who opens the safe will win the prize. Since the ice is extremely hard, like a rock, and they have no tools, their only option is to use their body heat. George thought of melting the ice with his warm mouth, but his tongue almost froze. Aw pressed his calf against the ice and rubbed his woolen pants, but his muscles couldn't withstand the cold. However, Lao Wang was a bit smarter. He used his entire body's skin to maximize heat exposure, making the ice melt faster. The host kindly mentioned that the stomach produces the most heat. Just as they were about to send in a big uncle, Aw noticed a ring on his finger that he could use to scrape the ice. George found a card in his pocket, which he could also use to scrape ice pieces. The key was to use anything available as long as it didn't break the rules. They quickly searched the area. Lao Wang found a drill, George got a scraper, and Ao only spotted a plastic pipe. Given the hardness of the ice, they could only remove small ice fragments using tools. It was nearly impossible to break it. After 20 minutes of melting, they could see a slight depression in the ice, but the keys were still far from reach. The host brought out a handbag and announced that if they answered a question correctly, they could take the tools inside. The question was, which city hosted the Olympic Games in the year 2000? George quickly answered, Beijing, while Lao Wang said, Sydney. Lao Wang answered correctly and won a handbag containing a hairdryer. He immediately used it to melt the ice, and the water started flowing rapidly, saving a lot of effort. However, the hairdryer could only be used for 1 minute. The host then asked another question. Where was the Titanic's departure point? Aw quickly answered, New York, USA, while Lao Wang said, Southampton, England. Once again, Lao Wang answered correctly and won 2 sandpapers, which had a rough surface, perfect for rubbing against the ice. With a sharper tool, Lao Wang deepened the pit in the ice. Meanwhile, George kept sucking away the melted water since he had no tools, so he had to blow air with his mouth to speed up melting. Aw flipped the ice block over and tried to heat it from a new direction. As time passed, 40 minutes had gone by. The melted trench had grown larger, and they started worrying that it might break. To stay safe, they focused on using only their hands to scrape near the key's location. They took turns rubbing the ice, making the hole in the center bigger. The host decided not to provide any more tools, allowing them to proceed on their